When Christopher Columbus returned from his trip to the Caribbean, he was asked to describe what Dominica looked like. The legend has it that he scrumpled up some parchment, threw it down and said it looks like that, covered in mountains. Well, that alongside the greenery and the wildlife makes the place they call the Nature Island perfect for hikers. The island has got hikes for all abilities. Some are easy and some are tough. And perhaps the most famous is the walk to the boiling lake. And it's this journey that I decide to take first. It's well worth having a guide with you. And before long, Peter, my partner in rambling, spots a tree that he thinks I might find useful.
This is a natural Viagra tree. Yeah. It's an aphrodisiac tree. And you can use the back of it and make a tea. It's for the men. Natural Viagra. It's called Bois Bandé.
A few miles later, and any thoughts about aphrodisiacs are long forgotten as we enter the notorious Valley of Desolation. What was once an area full of forest is now full of volcanic activity. Everywhere you go around here, the air is thick with the smell of sulphur, which you'll know from your school science lessons. Smells of these things, eggs. And with this little boiling pool here, Peter's going to cook one for me. Peter, show me how it's done.
All right.
How long will we have to leave that for?
About 10, 12 minutes. About that.
Beautiful. Let's kick back and relax and wait for our lunch. Beautiful. That is fantastically well done. I could go to work on that egg. After a hearty egg lunch, time for a dip in a warm thermal pool armed with some volcanic mud, which is apparently good for the skin. I think you'll agree I look a good 10 years younger already. Into the pool. So after a moment of relaxation, the boiling lake is the next stop, and it's only a little bit further on. It's hard to get a handle on the scale of the lake through the lens of a camera, but it's like a huge bubbling cauldron 200 feet in diameter, covered in an eerie vapour which regularly clears to dramatic effect. It can feel like you're staring into the bowels of the world, and although the walk may be tough, it's more than worth it. But in Dominica's own unique way, you can also find a totally contrasting walk through a very different looking forest.
We are on the Syndicate Nature Trail in the Mont Diablotin National Park. This trail is one of the unique areas of Dominica in that you are in the middle of the forest, untouched forest, yet the trail is very mild.
Now, the good thing about having a guide is that they can rescue you from your own ignorance, which is what happened when I thought I'd stepped in an aerial gift from a local bird.
It looks like a large bird has been in the air, but it's not. Definitely it's not. This is the secretion from the gummier tree. Actually, that's a gum. It looks also like candle. Yeah. And this is very popular in Dominica, in the Dominican context. First of all, it is used by the Caribbeans to caulk the cracks in the canoes, the dugout canoes. That can also be used to keep bugs at bay. It serves as a repellent when you light it. It lights very well. As a matter of fact, it's flammable and is used to light the fireplace.
Dominica is by no means resting on its hiking laurels. The Waitakabuli National Trail is a major project which, when completed, will be about 115 miles long, allowing hikers to walk from the north to the south of the island, and will link many tracks and trails which were first cut by the Caribbeans hundreds of years ago.
The trail is divided up into 14 continuous segments. Each segment is has a certain level of difficulty, has its own physical characteristics. It has its own topography, its own flora and fauna. And one can enjoy a hike, which starts from, if you want, coastal forests, coming through rainforests into elfin forests. So there's all different types of vegetation, all types of physical characteristics. It suits, because of the level of difficulty and the topography, all different types of hikers.
The people of Dominica are proud of the island's reputation as one of the world's hiking capitals, and this new trail will only enhance that. So when you do come to this part of the Caribbean, don't expect to just laze on the beach in a faceless resort, because you'll have to swap those flip-flops for something a bit more rugged. Just ask Christopher Columbus.